Welcome to Letters to Louie with Abby Algiers. Hi, Abby.
Hi, Sally.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
We're progressing through your father's archives of Letter to Louie's and Louie, excuse me. And each month we kind of communicate with each other through email about what do you think of this one or that one. And this next one that you're going to be reading is perfect, I think, in the fashion of what's going to be coming up for the summer, as well as what he had decided and done with his time after retirement and writing this to Louie. So,
Correct.
yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead and read that,
Okay.
and we can talk about it.
All right. Couldn't sleep. Dear Louie, I awoke this morning at 3 a.m. I'd been dreaming, a disturbing dream, and couldn't fall asleep again at this ungodly hour. My dream was that my son Tim had told me of his retirement. He, being a lawyer, was anticipating retirement at 58 years of age. Truly, I'm unable to recall if he told me or if it was a dream. I couldn't understand why he would consider retirement at this, the most productive time of his career. It disturbed me, and I was unable to sort it from a dream or reality. It makes me think of retirement and of my life for the past 25 years. I retired from the practice of medicine at the age of 62, the biggest mistake of my life. Not that I have been bored, but I have not lived to my potential, and I regret it greatly. I did experience a 10-year period of rebirth in medicine when I commuted for a part-time position on the faculty at the Medical College of Wisconsin. There, I was rewarded by the knowledge that with a little bit of effort, I could compete as an assistant professor of medicine on the outpatient faculty. However, a move to the city was probably necessary, and I had no desire for such a drastic move. Another bad decision. The daily commute in all kinds of weather had no attraction, and consequently, I decided to continue on a part-time, every other day schedule. In retrospect, probably a different decision would have been better suited. A schedule of 4 days each week and a move to the suburbs might have been accomplished a more suitable life structure. But it was not to be, and for 10 years I commuted on a part-time basis. I learned one thing. I could compete. I could influence and teach clinical medicine as well as the professional staff at the college. All that was needed from me, and by me, was commitment and change of location. This, foolishly, I did not do. The commute on Highway 41 was too much, and after the 10 years, I quit. But the 10 years demonstrated an ability to teach and compete with the big boys on the academic stage. I found that genius was 90% application and 10% presentation. I could and did make an impression, and I did fulfill a lifetime dream of academic presence. I did fulfill an ambition. It was satisfactory, and I enjoyed each minute. But the ambivalence of continual driving to and from the academic campus prompted total retirement at age 72. Now, at the age of 87, I dream of what could have been, and I wonder where has the time gone. From the age of 72 until present, I have been busy doing other retirement chores. We, Dorothy and I, went on a few cruises, went to Rome, to Greece, through the Panama Canal, up to Norway, Sweden, down to Mexico, into the Southwest, out east for the fall colors, and to our cottage when so desired. So in retrospect, we enjoyed travel, but now are hesitant even to drive to visit relatives in Mississippi. I had some accomplishments since 1990. For many years, I have been very active in the Medical Center Foundation of Hartford, and with the director, had fundraising drives, one of which raised $750,000 for the construction of the 1022 Club, an adult daycare center for memory loss patients, a center which furnishes daily care to elderly citizens with the problems of long-term care at home. The caregivers benefit in having a respite center, cost-effective and local. It's been very successful. The club furnishes care to 15 or so patients daily. We also established an annual golf tournament, the first in the area, and have over 23 years raised over $700,000 for the foundation. It's called the Gold Bug Golf Tournament, a fitting name. These two activities have kept me somewhat busy until recently. Now most days I search for things to do and wonder if some mistakes were made in curtailing work too soon. And I suppose that's true. Other activities have been most interesting. Since 2000, I have prepared over 30 TV interviews with a bright, pleasant young lady. These interviews have been on medical topics, historical events of Hartford, and activities in the city which have occurred over my lifespan. The present TV shows have been called Reflections, and most recently, the Reflections have shared time with letters to Louie. The audience is not large. The time slots have been compromised by the Common Council and their greed for the telecasting dollar. We lost many dollars of designated funding to the tax base of the city as a whole. Ah, the power of government. In spite of budgetary funding on a downward spiral, the show continues and the audience increases slowly. These activities have in the past produced a rounded calendar of interesting hobbies. But now, at the age of 87, one must adjust and find more centers of interest. Writing seems to be an activity of interest. I updated the program on my computer and found at least 200 writings, which if properly orchestrated, might be of publishing worth, but most likely will gather dust and mold and never see a binding. And so, Louie, what now? Do you have any words of wisdom, any direction to be taken? What might I do now? I dislike the thought of sitting and becoming morose. I so need activity and so need to keep the low back pain in control. Pain from spinal stenosis is destructive, and springtime and summertime golfing suffers, as does yard work and driving. This aging process goes on day by day. It nibbles at the soma and rots the psyche. It's a bad day when the highlight of the week has been the purchase of a cemetery plot. And for this reason, Louie, we must always keep the faith. Until later, Jim.
It's interesting to hear him say that he chose to leave medicine too early because of the contributions he made to our community. I mean, he was very influential in hospital and having the nurses be able to do more expanded duties and then bringing in an emergency service. And we've talked about some of those in some of the letters that he's done at those midnight calls and trying to get people to get some more help than just inside their home.
Right,
So-
definitely.
Yeah, and I remember talking with him about, his retirement and the things that he spoke of in his letter here to Louie and how he felt like he could have contributed more. But he really did contribute a lot after that.
Right. I mean, I think even the letter when he's kind of reflecting, like, I did do some things. I did this and this. Well, that's a lot to do during retirement.
Yes.
All the things that he started that are continuing to this day.
Mm-hmm. The adult daycare center has been a huge asset for our community and giving that respite care to the caregivers of people that are in the early stages of dementia leading into Alzheimer's. And that's been really important for our community and surrounding areas to have a place to have that daycare center available to them. So, I mean, just a fabulous addition. And the facility itself is beautiful. The gardens are beautiful. The artwork inside of the building that had all been donated, he really spearheaded all of that. And that's just an amazing accomplishment.
Right, and it's living on. And I'm glad that my parents didn't move to Milwaukee like he had kind of looked back and regretted because so many things would have just not happened.
Right. And the Golf Bug Classic is coming up, and that has been renamed.
Right. In 2020, they renamed it the Algiers Gold Bug Golf Classic in his memory and honor. Mm-hmm. So that is happening this summer in July. It's always the second Tuesday in July, so that's the 11th this year.
Okay. And how can our viewers sign up for that if they're interested in really giving a donation to the community and the foundation.
Yeah, they can sign up to golf or volunteer, and it's at the Medical Center Foundation website, and there's just a spot on there to register for the Gold Bug.
He really, your father has really left his mark, his footprint, not even just here in this community of Hartford, but abroad.
Right.
And I mean, that to me, if you're feeling that you want to leave a mark somewhere, whether it's with your children, your family, business, he really touched a lot of people.
Right.
He continues to.
And just kind of taught the lesson, even if you're done doing one thing, there's something else you can do.
Absolutely. Very accomplished. I appreciate you coming in and reading this for us today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And to our viewers, as always, thank you for watching.